I am live. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. Okay, it says I'm waiting because there's going to be a delay, I think. So, welcome again, and thank you so much for being here. I see a bunch of early questions coming in, which is awesome. I have my helper, my sister here to my right, Simone. So she's going to be um, pinging me if there's any issues with the live stream. I think we're good. Are we good now? A bit of a delay. Okay. So that's normal. So there is a delay between when I speak and when you hear me. I think it's about 5 seconds. That's normal. So I'm just going to welcome everybody yet again. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited for the new year and for a brand new year of pickleball and a brand new year of everything. To basically just you can restart, and anything you've been wanting to change, you can do that and just build upon whatever you started going well for you last year, or anything you want to change. Now's a good time to pivot into that. So I also have I'm Nicole Havlicek, by the way, in case you haven't heard of me. I would hope you have, since this is my channel, Primetime Pickleball. And thank you so much for watching Primetime, subscribing if you're a subscriber. If you're not, please definitely go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for being here. And also, if you're here, you probably read my emails, because that's mainly, I kind of just decided to do this more last minute. And I'm really glad that you were able to make it. Before I go into anything else, I have a guest today. So I didn't announce that. I have a special guest today. He's a good friend, and he's a pickleball coach, as well as a great player and just an all-around good guy. And I want to bring him on now and have him share a bit more about himself and his story and how he got into pickleball. So his name is Drew Diefenbach. So please welcome Drew to the live stream. Hey,
Hi,
Drew.
everybody.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, Drew and I actually go back to tennis days. We mostly were actually communicating via email regarding tennis tournaments and things like that, and recently crossed paths again via pickleball. And Drew, like myself, kind of dove headfirst into it as well. And he's gonna tell us a little bit about himself, his background, and how he came into pickleball and how that's going.
Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Yeah, first of all, you nailed my last name, so
Oh,
thanks. Appreciate that.
absolutely.
Um, hey, everybody. Nice to meet you for the first time. My name is Drew Diefenbach. I started um, a pickleball coaching clinic and tournament business in 2021. 2022, this is kind of like a fitting start to my year because I decided to leave tennis and go into pickleball 100%. I never thought that day would come, but here we are. So this is a great way for me to kick the new year off as I go into a new career. But yeah, like Nicole said, you know, I've been a tennis player my whole life. I played collegiately at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. I grew up in Northern California. I live in Concord right now. Um, and the way I kind of got into pickleball was a friend of mine just thought I would enjoy it, and I resisted probably for a good year. But I kept seeing it. I initially saw it be played where I coach in 2013, and I saw a ton of people come out, and then they all left. So I was kind of like, well, what's that? Um, Years later, um, it, I guess around 2018, 2019, I started to see lots of players kind of come back into the sport. And then that combined with a friend of mine kind of thinking that I might enjoy it, I started coaching it about 2 years ago. So just kind of combined the tennis coaching and the pickleball coaching. Long story short, 2021, I would say I really got into pickleball. I started playing tournaments, traveling a lot, checking out different facilities, and meeting a whole bunch of people. And I was just like, wow, this community of pickleball is amazing. Why didn't I get into this earlier? Because 2021 was awesome. I really enjoyed it a lot. Had some amazing experiences. And I think that's probably why a lot of you are here today, is that this is an amazing sport. Obviously, it's growing, but the community of people combined with the sport itself has just, been really attractive to me. So happy to be here. I'm going to follow Nicole's lead as we go through this today. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. You may or may not recognize Drew. He has been in a few of the primetime videos, and he very likely will be in more to come. So Drew is going to be around. He's a really good player, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting on the court more with him when I'm healthy as well, for videos and for competition.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, you have an interesting story. Like I came in, I resisted initially too. Like I was so deeply involved in tennis, my schedule was full. I like heard of it, and then I was like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. And then finally, someone got me out there, and I got hooked. But you actually say that people came into this. You know people in the sport, and they left and came back. I don't think I've heard that before. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so I think what happened was a lot of people kind of checked it out, um, where I coach in Orinda, but it was like 30 people trying to get onto like two courts.
Oh, I
Um,
see.
so I think some of those people were kind of like, well, I don't know about this. And I think, but I also think a bunch of people went to other facilities where they had, a dedicated court and more of a community there. So I think it was a combination of the two. But it definitely. I mean, in 2021, in my area, our area, I saw a notable increase of players for sure,
Yeah.
because there were courts that were available. It was like set up in like 2020 and 2019, and people weren't playing. And then the
Hmm.
pandemic hit, and I don't know what happened, but you know, it just was like bam. Here they are now. So um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 2021 has definitely been huge. So that's um that's a fact. All right. So this like I said on the email, this is going to be Q&A, and we are going to be getting into that. I have a bunch of questions lined up. Excuse me. So go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and we'll start going down them. And we have a couple of things I want to mix in. The first thing is that Drew's not aware of this, but I wanted to show off his playing skills, and I was poking around on Facebook yesterday, and I happened across a video from Glenn Lucy. Do you know about this video, Drew?
Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes those videos go up and I don't know about them. So
All right. Well,
all
Glenn
right, let's see it.
posted a video of 5 good points that attacking points that you and him played against
Okay.
another team. So I'm gonna show that, and I want also people to mainly focus on the attacking, yes, but like the really awesome defense and counterattacking and resetting. And I want you to notice how Glenn and Drew in particular are very calm when they're about to be attacked or counterattacked, and like they're pretty still and loose, and then they're just fast with their hands, because that's kind of what you have to do at that point. You can't be stiff, you can't panic, you can't really be flinching. You have to be calm, breathe, and like let that paddle just find the ball and bounce off the ball. So that's what I want you to pay attention to here. I'm going to run the video now. I hope that it plays well, and my sidekick sister here will let me know if it's not going well. So I'm going to share my screen now, and here we go. So we'll just let it play. It's about a minute 15 seconds or so. Sure. All right, here we go. Big finish by Drew. Oh no, Glenn, he got it back. Forgot about that.
Oh,
You don't see it? Can you not see
no.
the video? Okay. That's strange. You don't see the video. You see me? Oh shoot. That's not good. All right, let's try that one more time. Share screen. All right, how about now? You see it?
I can't wait to see this.
You still don't see it? Oh
I don't
no.
see it.
Shoot, why is that? Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, what about now?
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much for bearing with me, everybody.
Yeah. Just making it bigger on my screen.
Okay, full screen. Are we good to go now?
Sweet.
Awesome.
This is like from a day ago, too.
Oh, let me start it over. Here we go. All right. This is the beginning. Is it full screen? Okay, it's as close as I can get to full screen. Here we go. It's a nice block. Glenn Lucy with the finish. Look at Drew cover the middle there. Nice get.
Oh, that was nice finish by
Very nice Ernie finish.
Yeah.
Stayed out of the kitchen. Look how calm. Look how calm they are. That's what I wanted you to see. Oh, tape clipper.
Oh no, I missed one. What?
You were robbed.
Man, Glenn's just taking charge. I remember playing this game. I think this was from like just 2 days ago.
Oh, okay, so it's very recent.
This is brand new.
Oh, that was the right shot. You just missed it. I think that was it. All right, that was two. But
right.
Glenn had two big finishes there on the backhand side.
Yeah, I think that was. I remember that game. It was obviously 2 days ago. So I've played with him before. What did you like about that, Nicole? What was the?
I really liked how you guys were really calm about your defense when you were being attacked or counterattacked. And actually they were too. They came up with some good digs. Like I think that one of the main things people struggle with when they're on defense is because they panic and tighten up, and then you're basically done at that point. And so you have to kind of get past that part. And it's clear that Glenn's always been good at that. And, he kind of, his defense has been his strength, and actually his offense has improved a lot over the years. And I notice you too, like all four of you, when you're getting attacked or counterattacked on, even if they have a really like pretty high shot, you stay calm and you just get a little bit low, and you kind of let your paddle do the work, and you just get behind the ball and let the ball bounce back off your paddle for a reset for the most part, unless you're counterattacking. But I thought there were some really great resets in there.
Yeah. For me, do you want me to touch on?
Absolutely. Yeah, please. Yep.
So like, I think I see a lot of videos, and I'm not saying that any of this is wrong for people to play this way, but like Glenn is 60 years old, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he wants me to tell everybody that, but
he doesn't look a day over 45.
He's in really good shape, right? He plays a lot. He sets up he sets up a lot of games. It includes me on those, and it's great. Um, yeah, so for me, like a lot of those balls go to Glenn. Um, I think he's I a lot of the balls go to Glenn. So for me, I just have to make sure like I don't overplay. Um, and I think a lot of people try to like whether it appears one player is better or not. Like I just see people overplaying a lot or like kind of moving too quickly and crossing or forcing it. So I think like you got to trust your partner, right? Like you got to just let your partner do their thing. And if you do have to cross over, like that's fine, go for it. But like the potential scrambling and opening of the court and the panic that can come from like at least me in that situation playing with Glenn, like overplaying. Um, like I really decided to not do that at all. That's why I look so casual. Um, that's also how I play. I kind of look that way. So people kind of they almost don't think that like I'm ready, but I am ready. Um, I also do talk like this when I'm excited, so I seem very mellow anyways.
Yeah, you have a mellow style about you, but I kind of know. Well, I mean, I could tell that that was your approach, and I guess it might look not ready to others. I could totally see that, but I've seen other people exhibit that as well. So I just know that that's kind of a certain style, and that's your style.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Internally, I felt it was interesting for that specific day. I felt extremely confident in like letting um, him do his thing and me just, holding my side pretty much. So
yep,
just wanted,
gotta
wanted to add that.
make sure you can hold your side first. That's for sure. All
Yep.
right, let's get into some of the questions here because I definitely want to get through these, and we'll go from the top down. If I happen to skip your question, hopefully my trusty sidekick will let me know. And if I do seem like I'm not getting to it, just repost it because I probably missed it by accident. So we're gonna start with Stephen Chapkin. What were the most impactful game innovations of 2021? So I really think there's not a whole lot of debate about what that was, and it was definitely spin serves, whether that be the off the paddle, and I think that one's called the chainsaw, or the two-handed spin, like crate spin with both hands, the one that's holding the paddle and the one that's not, and then the one-handed Morgan Evans spin. Now, the off the paddle spin banned, the two-handed spin banned, the one-handed spin is not banned except for recently it's been banned by the PPA very recently, like within the last few days, maybe a week or so. But overall, that all the spin serves, like spin created by your hand serves, are not allowed except the one-handed one is still allowed by the official like rules. And the reason that's such a big innovation is because it really once that paddle hits the ball with and it's already got spin on it, you can really get it moving a lot heavier than if it didn't already have that initial spin on the paddle. So the ball hits the ground and it's mostly creating a side spin problem and it kicks way to the side, and it's just really hard to read for the average rec player, and even for really good players it's tough to know how much it's going to bend. Like at least really good players that have seen spin before know how spin works, can read it early when they're already seeing which way the swing is headed, and they probably you can really only spin the ball one way. Well, that's not entirely true, but most people tend to spin it the one way, so it's always going to bounce kind of the same way. So you just have to, but you don't know how much. And so that's where better players, they know kind of it's going to have a certain amount of range to the bend. And so they already can get ready for it, but it's still going to be problematic. Um, but it's returnable. It's definitely returnable, but you have to read that it's going to be at least bending. And then you just have to figure out how much is it going to bend. And so that's why, like if someone in the rec play is able to do that serve like 3-5 and below, like it's going to be really hard to return. So that's the biggest innovation of 2021, in my opinion, by far. What do you think, Drew?
Um, yeah, I think that's the primary one. That's number one. That spin serve. I mean, everybody was talking about it. You know, lots of videos about it, how to do it. I mean, even myself, I was like, should I do this? I mean, everybody's doing it, right? So, you know, so yeah, I think in a sense, it really changed the game. And honestly, like I'm surprised that the PPA took away being able to spin the ball with one hand. It seems like it seems kind of. I mean, I think they should keep it off the paddle. Yeah, okay, you can ban that one, but I don't know. I think it's kind of weird because if you toss the ball and it has some spin on it, like who's gonna referee that? Like that's just kind of so. Anyways, that's my opinion on that. But yeah, I think the spin serve definitely shook up the pickleball world big time. For me, when I'm playing and I see somebody, hit a spin serve, I'm super like narrow focused on the ball because I can read the ball and which way it's going to spin. So it takes a lot of like the pressure and anxiety off of it. I think what happens is when people see that this spin serve is coming, they kind of panic or they don't
Hmm.
know what to do. And really, the only thing you can do, at least for me, that works is just really look at the ball and which way it's going to spin. Because for me, I can see the spin.
Yeah.
So at least I know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can actually see the spin. So definitely, if you're something you struggle with, really pay attention to the ball, and there you see it. You just have to get used to reading it.
Yeah.
All right, we can come back to spin serve. A couple down here says, "Let's talk endlessly about the spin serve." Yeah, we everyone go on and on about that for days. So we'll that is the biggest impact of 2021 for sure. I think hands down. So let's move on to the next question. Sandra Baker, can you give some insight on how to hit better misdirection shots? Thanks. Um, sure, like that's a pretty advanced shot. So if you like I would get rock solid, make sure your dinking is rock solid, your dropping is rock solid, and your resetting, all that is like locked in because misdirection is really like even a Drew and I were just talking about it right before the call, and like he was saying he doesn't even use it that much, which I understand. Like if everything else is on point, you don't have to dip into that misdirection well like very often. But the in my opinion, the most important thing to do is like you have to sell that you're gonna hit it one way, and then at the last second lay your wrist back and go. Basically, it's like you're selling it from cross court, and then you go inside in. So it's only going to go this way on the backhand and this way on the forehand. So I know that's probably hard to see because I'm facing you, but you have to sell it. That's my best tip is like sell it with your body, like you're going that way and with your eyes, and then don't look to your where your misdirection locations. You have to keep looking where you were trying to sell the fact that you're hitting it, and then just the last second you kind of have to just see it in your mind's eye where you're going to hit it and then go for their right shoulder because number one they'll be surprised and then number two they'll be late and then they're going to have a hard time getting that. So you do have to have a really good sense of the court, sense of where you are in the court and where they are, because you're not going to look at where you're hitting. You're going to sell it one way, go the other, and keep looking where you're trying to sell it. That's what I got. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's a lot of fun, it kind of like mixes it up, especially, if you're just playing in general, it's a fun tool to have. Um, yeah, I think the thing is that you're changing, you're adding some potential variability to a shot, which could be, you know, standard. Like you're taking a standard shot and you're making it more challenging for yourself because you're changing the direction of your paddle at the last second. So that's where the air could come in to play. So, definitely practice it first. Um, I think if you want an advanced misdirection shot, you got to be able to hold um, the paddle as long as you can, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to like show the paddle one way, so they think you're going to go one way, and then you change the paddle at the last second.
Hmm.
Um, the last thing I would add is you can almost sell like you're going to hit it slow one way and then you speed it up as a misdirection the other way. So
Yep.
that's kind of the trick is you know speeding it up or slowing it down with your misdirection and keeping them on their toes that way.
Okay, so you're saying basically misdirect with the direction and with the speed.
Yeah,
Sell it hard, go soft. Sell it soft, go hard. That's
right.
very, very good. All very good points. Thank you for that. All right, next is Jay Pratano. Still confused about shading. Can you go over the general rules? Okay. The way I see shading is like when you guys are both when you're both up at the net, you kind of follow the ball. So that's it, the net's a little bit more straightforward in my view, and Drew can add his view. But at the net, you're gonna if the ball goes that way, you two are kind of gonna go with it, so that the middle is covered and that the line is covered, and then the same thing in the other. When you're both back at the baseline, you have because that produces more angles for them to hit to. You are not going to necessarily move with the ball as much. The person that's down the line from the ball, yes, should move over typically a little bit to cover the line. But then the person that's cross court from the ball can't shade over as much to cover the center because then they're leaving the whole wide shot more exposed. So they're going to just move over a little. And it depends how much angle you produced for the other side. When you guys are two back and wherever they're, if they have a short ball, you're really not going to shade because you're now have to cover like a much bigger angle. So you're just going to like try to in your mind draw like their best opportunity shots, and the both of you get in the middle of that like angle that you see in your mind, and that might not involve a whole lot of shading. So but that's the way I think about it. And so shade at the net, move with your partner. The one who's ahead of it covers a bit more of the line, and then the other one cross court from it covers a bit more of the center. So you're going to move pretty much like that at the net, and when you're both at the baselines can be a little bit of a different story. The person cross court from the ball has like a huge area to cover, so that you can't cover the whole court at that point. If you guys are going to be on major defense, you have to cover like their most likely shot. That's what I think. What do you think on that, Drew?
Well, first I should throw a shout out to Primetime Pickleball because I know you have a video uh, about
Do
this.
we must we must we
Yeah,
have so many now I can't remember them all.
I,
um
I know it because I was in it, and
oh yes, the forehand number one forehand mistake, that's the name of it. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good video. I mean, it was like my partner and I kept getting um, we kept getting shots hit through the middle on us. Um, and you know how it goes if you play pickleball. It's like, was that mine? Was that yours? You
Yes.
know, whose fault was it? But anyways, I want to throw that video out there because it's good, and it helped me actually.
Oh,
Um,
awesome. I'm super happy.
yeah, yeah,
That's great.
yeah. But what I want to say about that is, first of all, like you kind of, if a ball goes through the middle because you didn't shade, like, yeah, I don't know. As a team, you're kind of both to blame. Maybe one person it's their fault, but like you got to figure that out as a team.
Yeah.
Um, so don't blame anybody, on that besides like yourself, maybe as a team, because it can create some bad blood between partners if you blame somebody for it. So, anyways, yeah, I just think about shading at the kitchen line a lot. Um,
Yeah.
if my partner gets dinked like out wide, I know that I should be closer to the center of the court. Like I think in doubles we're so used to being on one side or the other that it can feel a little weird just to actually just kind of stay in the middle, you know. Um, so I would say like just get comfortable like when you do shade, like kind of just like playing the middle. And kind of like just being a force that's just kind of stays there. Um, you can bait the middle a little bit. I'll try to maybe bait somebody to go through the middle, but I'll only do it like if my forehand is in the middle. So I'll sometimes pretend like I don't shade, and then
Mhm.
I'll pop over there, with my forehand in the middle. I won't do that as much on my backhand side, but there's little tricks like that that you can do as well. Um, I would say the main thing is like when you're both at the kitchen line, like you got to probably stay cover the middle. Get that foot on the center line. Know where the center line is. And don't be afraid of being there. So.
Yeah, no, that's really great stuff. Yeah, baiting, that's another advanced strategy, you have it covered, but you just make it look open. That's brilliant. A lot of pros do that all the time. And yeah, general rule of thumb, but yeah, like Drew says, it's like ultimately nobody's fault. It's the team's fault because you need to figure it out together and no blame game out there. But like in typically the cross court person from the ball should be the one stepping on that line, taking the middle, because the other person is more covering line and they're looking to be more offensive. When you're cross court from the ball, that you're kind of responsible for like the defensive end a bit more. Of course not if it goes down the line. That's a different story. Um, Good stuff. Also, okay, hello from Charleston. Hey, Harry. Treated myself during Christmas to dominating doubles. Awesome. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying it. It looks like you are. Definitely improved my game. Great. Super happy to hear that. Um, Harry, when would you hit a short dink into the front part of your opponent's kitchen? Um, Basically, you don't want to go to that well too often, but if you have them back and you guys are up and you're kind of been pounding a few deep at them, that's a good time to drop it. Like when they're not expecting it is a really great time, and when they're further back. Um, Also, if they hit a tape clipper that you barely are getting to, you kind of have to just tap it over short into the kitchen. Outside of that, what do you think, Drew? That's kind of what's coming to mind for me.
What's the question? I'm not
When
quite
would
sure.
you when would you hit a short dink into the front part of your opponent's kitchen?
A short dink, like
Like
I mean,
very short, like closer to the net rather than deeper in the kitchen.
yeah, I guess if you're in like a long dink rally and you feel like you're like, oh my god, we're all just hitting the same shots, it's just
Yeah.
same regular dink. I think it goes with like that's like depth, So if you want to experiment with depth, um, I think a lot of times we try to dink when the four players are up. Everybody's trying to maybe dink at each other's feet. So those are going to be deeper. So, if you want to throw somebody off, you can hit a short dink, draw them into the kitchen. They have to step into the kitchen, and then if they pop it up a little bit, you can, either hit a volley right at them and make them, fault because they're in the kitchen, or just make them uncomfortable. So I think a short dink, if you're getting real short on it, you got to be at the kitchen line. Um, I could go into that more, but I think that's it
Yeah.
on
Pretty
that
pretty
one.
much, yeah, when you're trying to mix it up when you're trying to mix it up and when you have them off guard thinking it's not gonna go short. That's kind of the sums it up. Um, Hi, Phil from Prescott. Michael, I know the drop serve is here to stay, but can you still hit the ball any way you want, or does it now have to be low to high like regular serves? No, as far as I know, the drop serve, you can still hit a slice. Let's keep going. We actually have a lot of questions, which is great, but I want to make sure to get through them, and we have some other things to get to today. So let's see. From the rule book, the serve motion is still an upward motion. Correct on the traditional serve, but not on the drop serve. Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. Drop serve. You can go high to low.
A drop serve, you can go high to low.
You don't have to swing low to high. You can hit a slice, and which is somewhat of a higher to low motion.
Like
That's the benefit of the drop serve.
if you hit it off the bounce.
Yeah, drop. Yeah, off the bounce serve, drop serve.
I never hit that serve, so I don't. And a lot of people don't practice it. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I actually don't know the rule. I just know that you can't toss the ball up on the drop serve. That's why it's a drop serve.
yeah, that's
So you
true.
have
True
to
too.
that's the one mistake that I think a lot of people do.
Gotcha.
Um, I don't know. I have to check the rule on that one.
Okay. I'm Me too, but I'm like 90% sure, yeah, that the drop serve stayed in the current form. I don't think there was a change
Okay.
to the swing motion. Phil's asking. So if I find out differently, Phil, then I will, I guess, email about it. But um, in your opinion, what are the skills that differentiate 4-0 from 4-5s and 4-5s from 5-0s? Okay. Let's see. Tons of questions. Let's So basically, we're gonna keep them a bit shorter, the answers here, I think, so we can get through everything, which is I'm super excited about the amount of questions. 4-0 to 4-5, it's really, I think, in my opinion, consistency. Um, you can make more advanced shots and you can make more aggressive shots, but you're just not making them as consistently as a 4-5 does. And then from 4-5 to 5-0, the consistency goes up again, but you're just able to see ahead more. You have more time to breathe. You're a bit more seeing like 1, 2, 3 shot patterns. So you're just like, you're less reactionary and you're much more proactive. 4-0 and 4-5, you might still be a little bit too reactionary. I think, but like the underlying thing is just the level of consistency. You pick a target and you can hit it, and you can hit it with different types of spins, different types of speeds. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I mean the transition is a big transition. I mean, even for like for a 4-0 to go, if you're a decent 4-0 to 4-5, I think 4-5 and 5-0s are potentially closer in level in a way. I agree with everything you said for sure. Um, yeah, the next tournament I'm playing is going to be I'll play 5-0 and then the pro doubles as well. It's at the Desert Ridge. Um, but I played like 3 4-0 tournaments in 2021. I played 1 4 5, and then I played um, one Open Pro tournament. So yeah, I've pretty much seen all the levels. I think um, everyone's so hyped up on driving the ball. I would say that would probably be the secondary thing of 2021 was like, oh, you should drive the ball and hit it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, that's true. But what my partner and I, doubles partner and I, have realized is that it doesn't really work at a higher level. So you have to like get up to the kitchen, and driving doesn't really help as much as you might think. So, dropping, getting up to the kitchen, trying not to overplay, and then you have to be super patient.
Yeah,
The dink game, being patient with the dink game, making sure you speed up at the right time, making sure you're ready for the speed ups. Um, so, yeah, I would say like the biggest thing I'm working on right now is not driving the ball as much, kind of playing more counterintuitive, a softer game. So,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to like, pros don't dink because they want to. They dink because they have to. It's, you have to set up with the soft game. There's no way around that, because if you go low, if you're hitting low and you go hard, I mean, it's game over pretty quick. So speaking of 4-0, 4-5s, 5-0s and all that, and one of the ways you can get better, definitely, and help to elevate yourself into those next levels, as Drew is doing, he's sharpening his skills at the 5-0 level, is you can play tournaments. And so hand in hand with that is, Drew, you have a tournament coming up here in March, end of March, I think you said, and it's your first
oh yeah.
one. Drew's run, just put it in perspective, Drew's run tons of tennis tournaments. I used to like go on the USTA tournament site and just like see his name come up all the time. Tournament director, tournament director, tournament director. So now he's now he's doing it. He's in the pickleball world. So yeah, tell us a bit about that, where it's at, what this, what the draws are and all that stuff.
Yeah, so this is my first pickleball tournament that I'm actually running myself. It's in Concord, California, Northern California, East Bay, if you're not from around here. It's at Willow Pass Community Park. There's 14 courts there. For this tournament coming up, we're going to just be using the 14 courts. I do have 3 more tournaments potentially coming up this year as well. But this one is March 25th to the 27th. The registration's open and live now.
Oh,
On
okay.
Yep, you can
I'm excited.
register.
I'm gonna drop
Um,
that link in the chat right now. There it is. So that's where you can go to register. And you said you have potentially three more this year coming up.
yeah, three more. This if everything goes, well, you never know these days, right? It's taken 2 years
Yeah.
to get to this point, so I pretty much didn't run any tournaments for the last 2 years, uh, which is fine. But anyways, yeah, it's the Paragon winner takes all round robin tournament. It's a little bit of a unique format. Um, uh, it kind of is. It exists some places, but you don't see it that much. But basically, it's going to be a money tournament. There'll be 15 winners. It's 3-0 to 5-0. Let's see, it's all doubles. Friday is men's doubles. Saturday is mixed, and Sunday is women's doubles. The format is it's pool play, so the max is 12 teams per level. So let's say you play 3-0 men's doubles, 12 teams sign up. You get split into two pools of 6 teams, and then you play a round robin within that pool. Um, it's it's first to 15 points, win by 1 point, and you play 5 rounds. So meanwhile, you've got the other pool that's playing same thing, assuming it's full, and then whoever the winners are of those pools, they play one championship match, and it's a winner takes all match, um, and whoever wins that wins a cash prize. So it's kind of cool because at the amateur levels, you don't always see some money getting thrown out there, but for this, there's going to be money for every level. So that's
Awesome.
it. That's it in a nutshell.
And it sounds like because it sounds like to me if you enter this tournament, you're gonna get a lot of pickleball, right? Because it's like
Yeah, you
okay,
should be ready
nice.
to play.
Because a lot of the times it's like two and out, right? And so
Yeah, yeah. It's scheduled. It's scheduled to kind of give you some. It's scheduled before the PPA events and to not conflict with like the APP as well. So
mhm.
for our area, like or even if you wanted to come in out of town, it's set up so that basically you can get in a lot of practice before you go off to play these major tournaments. Because if you're flying to, you want to get some competition in.
Yeah.
So really, that's what I'm trying to do for the players locally, so they can kind of get ready and then go off and kick some butt.
Awesome. No, I'm excited to hear that. I did see the round robin, but I kind of forgot about it. And that it's good because you're guaranteed to play quite a few games, which sometimes doesn't happen if you happen to lose the first two. So that's a real
Yeah,
big benefit in my view.
yeah. I'll just say one more thing. Like, if you're gonna like try to win a pickleball tournament, you're gonna play so much pickleball. Like
Yeah.
it is crazy. Like it's more. It turns into like a marathon. Like who's gonna survive? Because you could play like 5, 6, 7 matches maybe, depending on how big the draw is. Just in one event. If you lose first round, you have to work your way through the back draw. I mean, I had to do that, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm dying. Like nobody told
Yeah.
me about this. So the round robin kind of it'll force you just to be out there, and that sort of kind of training will help you if you need to, if you're going to make a big run in a tournament. So
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah,
Great stuff. So yeah, definitely check that link out. Another thing, thanks for that, Drew. I wanted to do at this point before we get back to the questions is I said there'd be prizes and there are. So I'm going to basically Q&A raffle off a primetime apparel. So I was going to say a shirt, but it doesn't have to be a shirt. It can be a hoodie, like basically any one item on the primetime official apparel site, which let me just show that to you real quick. Hope I do the screen share better this time. Uh, Do that. On the screen. Okay. Can you see it? Okay. It's gonna come. Okay, great. It's coming online now. So I'll ask the question in a moment, but I just want you to see what you can choose from if you are a winner. Here it is. Yeah, so anything on here, any one item. At the top, the most popular is the dry fit. Top line is men's, second line women's, long sleeves. That's loading, but it's more long sleeves and hoodies. So yeah, so here we go. That's what we're raffling for. And let me take this off again. Do that. There we go. Okay, so whoever answers this question in the chat correctly first gets to pick their choice of primetime apparel. Any one item that I will send to you. All right, get ready for the question. Get your fingers over the keyboard. Who were the gold medalists of pro mixed doubles from the most recent nationals? The gold medalists of the pro mixed doubles of the recent nationals in Palm Springs. First correct answer gets a shirt, a hoodie, a long sleeve, a t-shirt. Lucy and Matt, not correct. Yeah, sorry, it was not senior, the regular pro. Okay, we have a winner. It was the Newmans. Green Daisy Girl. I believe that's the first one. My trusty sidekick will correct me if that's not. The Newmans. So congratulations, Green Daisy Girl. Please email me your address and I'm going to put the email on the screen now. Email me here at support@primetimepickleball.freshdesk.com with the item you want, the color, and the size, and your address. Green Daisy Girl is the winner on that one. All right, congrats. Thanks to everyone. I was there. She was there. Okay, cool. Tyson and Riley, mixed doubles. All right. Okay, good stuff. Let's get back to the questions.
What's your feeling on going from rec
What's your feeling on going from rec play to outdoor play? All right. I got you, Drew. I got your text. Thank you. Let's just so Drew has to head out in a second here, and we'll just field this one last question, and then we'll let him go. What's your feeling on rec play?
Going from rec play to outdoor play and excelling at both.
What's your feeling on going from rec play to outdoor play and excelling at both? I'm assuming indoor and then outdoor. Drew, do you have any thoughts on that? Perfect. Indoor versus outdoor, I think, is what he's after.
Acceptance is the answer. When you got to accept the conditions that you're playing on, it's going to be different. Typically, a lot of indoor play, unless they're putting outdoor pickleball courts, indoors. Typically, indoors is going to be on wood, right? So the ball skids. You got to play with an indoor ball, which flies through the air differently, and then the ball bounces differently. You're not going to be able to change that. So, what I see is like people, they kind of can get upset about the conditions.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not going to change. So you just have to accept it, see what's going on with the ball, see, how does the game change a little bit. Give yourself some time to adjust to the timing. It's going to be different timing. If you're going from indoor to outdoor, the biggest complaint I hear, is people complaining about the wind, or struggling with the wind. It's like, well, who's going to stop it? I mean, you can't, right? You can't stop the wind. So you just have to adjust. So I would say accept the conditions that you're playing in, give yourself some time to adjust, and then you probably will be able to adjust and get your timing. Um, but the sooner you can accept it and just start getting smart about it and understanding what changes, why things are a little bit different, the sooner you'll be having fun and playing great. So
Yeah, no, 100% agree. I love that word, acceptance. It's like, yeah, if you just kind of need to get emotionally past it. Like, there's different conditions. What are they? How do I work with them? And that's the answer. Great stuff. All right, Drew. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I know you have to head out. Thank you so much for being here. Sign up for Drew's tournament. Drew, do you have any parting words before you go?
honestly, this was great. I had a great time. Honestly, I'm just happy to support you in any way. You're great. You're a great person. Uh, Good luck to everybody. Hope to meet you all soon. Because I don't see your face, if you do see me, please come say hi. I'm usually going to be I'm going to be in California, but if I see you in Arizona at any of the upcoming tournaments, just look for my Paragon shirt and come say hello.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely say hi to Drew. He does lessons in the Concord and surrounding areas, and obviously he's getting started with tournaments. I know there's gonna go great for you. I have like no doubt. So thanks so much for coming on. Yeah, we are for sure, I think, gonna be collaborating here again in the future. You're a super great dude. So thanks so much for hopping on last minute. And yeah, you were great. I appreciate it so much.
Pleasure. Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye, Drew. We're gonna we're gonna keep going here with the questions. Thank you. Sidekick is doing a great job. Sidekick Simone. How many different serves should someone have in their arsenal, and what should some of them be? Okay, so first, before we get into spins at all, you need to get your locations down. You need to be able to basically hit it deep in the box at will anywhere. Forehand, a little bit to the side of that, a little bit to the side of that, middle of the box, a little bit further over from the middle towards the sideline, a little bit more over towards the sideline. So location, location, location. Be able to hit your spots. Number one, it doesn't have to have any spin on it. Your accuracy on your serves and being able to mix the locations is going to by far be the number one biggest factor. So get that locked in and loaded, and like that's going to take you very far, like four or five plus. And then once you get the locations dialed in, and you're even able to drop it a little bit short every once in a while, like accuracy is number one, consistency is 1A and 1B. They're number one. Then you can start to build power into that accuracy. Then you can build spin into that accuracy, and like depth is key. So that's kind of the order: accuracy, consistency, probably power after that, and then spins. Um, you can have all of that in your arsenal, like a top spin, mainly top spin and flat. It would be the two types of action you want on the ball. Flat is no action, mainly top spin. Slice, I mean, unless you're gonna be drop serving it, I wouldn't do underspin because it's hard to you can't get a good knifing underspin without with a low to high motion. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I super appreciate all the questions. I love it. I want to get through them. We're closing in on 2. I'm gonna go overtime. I hope that works for everyone, and I will try to get through the questions, but I can't make any promises right now because I'm just not sure how far they go. How do you gain better control of ball placement when the other person is slamming you and you can't do more than defense? That's a great question, because at that point you're kind of, defense is probably one of the most, it's harder than offense and it's harder than neutral. Like out of the three kind of stages of the point you can be in: offensive, neutral, and defensive. Defense is the toughest, and the best players in the world are probably the best because they just have unbelievable defense and very good offense too, but defense is what separates them. So you got to get out there and drill and get comfortable And I love game-based drilling, as I think I've said all over the channel. It doesn't have to be just like mind-numbing drilling. Like I don't mind like just drilling because I really want to get the skill, but make a game out of it. Have one person closer, hitting harder at you, but but hard enough that you can handle it, and work on your blocking and resetting and dropping that into the kitchen. If you're in scramble mode, that's you're in a point you don't have your resets locked in, it's going to be tough to get out of it in that moment. You have to work on that. I wish I had an instant answer for you, but unfortunately that's not the case here. As a 5 tennis player and after 6 months of pickleball, still struggling with the instinct to cross step when going wide at the non-volley zone instead of sidestepping. Any advice or drills to help with this? Wow, that's a okay. You're 5-0 and you're cross stepping. That's a tough one. I haven't really run across because I had trouble with it at first because I actually didn't know not to do it at first, and then once I knew to do it, I would just like make sure you get into the habit, slow everything down, and have someone dink cross court with them and have it send them to you wide, like but slow, so that you have time to think about your steps and take the shuffle steps. Like you know what shuffle stepping is, I'm sure, because you're a 5-0, you have to know what the footwork is. So it's about getting into a drill that's slowing things down so you have time to think about the steps. If you're going at dinking at like high speeds and playing an aggressive game, like you're gonna default to what's automatic for you, which is the cross step thing. So slow it down, give yourself a chance to think about your footwork, go cross court to cross court with a partner, have them hit every now and again one out wide where you do have to use your shuffle steps, and slow it down and think about the steps, doing them correctly, and it'll become just you get to kind of force it in there, but bring down the pace of play. That's my best tip for you. It's that kind of always the answer. Like if you are struggling with something, you have to bring the pace way down and give yourself like have a ball coming your direction where you have time to think about what you're supposed to be doing because it's not automatic for you. You have to build that automation up. So slow everything down, get it right before you start ramping up the difficulty. Lawrence, what can I do to anticipate or recognize sooner the direction of my opponent's shot? My reflexes are not what they used to be. Well, you have to do a few things. So when everyone's at the net, there's not a whole time to see like once the ball is hit, it's on you. So you have to kind of read for cues ahead of time. What have they done before and what's worked for them? So they're likely to do that again. So expect that to come again. Look at their tendencies, what's worked, but also what they like to do. What you notice the shot they kind of hit over and over, and that's probably coming because that's their favorite shot. Whether it works or not, people often just like to hit their favorite shot. So be ready for the favorite shot. Um, Read like how they get set up. Like there's always a tell as to how people set up for the shot, what's about to come, and always expect the drive first. So look at their paddle setup. Are they get under the ball? If they're under the ball, they're probably gonna hit topspin. If they're a little behind it, they might cut it for a slice. So start to try to figure out what the cues are of their body position, their setup, and then what comes after that, and look out for those sooner. Once the ball's, if you're waiting till the ball's off their paddle, it's going to be too late at that point, and you're just reacting at that point. Kathleen, I like the soft game, but want to attack more. Tell me when. When the ball's above the net, Kathleen. We have a good video called, I think, Attacking from Below the Net. And another one, it's I forget the name of it. Oh, it's like it's the yellow, red, green zones. Like it's called When to Attack versus Not or something like that. So that's actually perfect. So I would go on our channel, and in the thumbnail, it's Jordan. He's wearing like a goofy outfit. He has like on a green hat, a yellow shirt, and like red shorts or something like that, and to reflect the zones. And that's kind of what we'll watch that video. It'll do a better job of explaining it than I can here in a short answer. The Bearded Meeple, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Peter, I was taught to stand and serve from the outside corner where the back line and side line come together. Why do all the pros I see on YouTube stand and serve closer to the center line? I'm not sure what the reasoning was of the person who taught you that. I would be curious to know. They stand a bit closer because then they have the court better covered for the return. If you're standing off, basically right towards the far edge, the sideline, if you're on the sideline and where the baseline meets, like you say you are, you're out of position. After, if the serve's hit and you stay there, you're serving, right? I was taught to stand. Yeah, you're serving. You're not probably in the best position to cover the court for the next shot, because so that's why they stand a bit more toward, much more actually, over to towards the center to better have that middle covered and have the court overall as a team covered. So that's why that is. Kay Vickers, how is your rehab coming, Nicole? Wishing you the best. Thank you so much, Kay. It is, I'm working on it every day and it continues to get better every day. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you so much for asking. Ablidam, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. VOT FYI, Damien. I'm not sure what that means. Do you know what VOT means?
No.
Do you still recommend third shot drive? So many players are hitting drives. Hard for me to soften up. I recommend hitting a drive when your partner hit a terrible return and it's like short and high, and you can be on offense right away, and you can get it going like low and down. Then I would do it. Or if you're not super well set up for a third shot, because that is a precision shot, rip one low and try to get a better fifth. That's other than that, you're trying to get to the net. It's going to be tough to get to the net behind a drive. So you're going to have to drop, and get in. So I hope that kind of more clears it up for you. It's top of the hour. We're still going to keep going. I wanted to raffle off another shirt. I hope that works for everybody. So I the primetime, any shirt on the website at primetimepickleball.com/apparel. If you click through, that'll go to the apparel site. Dry fit, hoodie, long sleeve, whatever. I will send that to you. The question is, what was the topic of the last video uploaded to the Primetime channel? Okay, what was the topic? I'm looking for 3 words in particular that summarizes the topic. 1, 2, and 3 words. If so, go ahead and drop your answer in the chat now. If you don't know, go ahead and look at the channel. By the time if nobody knows off the top of their head, whoever goes back and drops it in to the chat first wins. So 3 words that are the topic of the last video I uploaded to the Primetime channel. It was just like about a week ago, maybe 4 or 5 days, not sure. Anybody? Could be a delay on the chat. That's normal. I really want to raffle off a shirt. Becoming 4-0. Amazing pickleball volleys. Lindsay, you're so close. You have 3 of the words. You have 2 of the words. I'm looking for the 3rd word, and the 3rd word, as a hint, is a number. And actually, no, sorry, I have 1 of the words. Volley is 1 of the words. Okay, volley is 1 of the words. Amazing volleys. Close. Everyone's close. Gain total volley control. That's close. No one's gotten the 3 words. Okay. Oh my gosh, he got it. I think that's what I was looking for, Jay Paterno. 5 volley tips. That is the best summary of that video. I think your trusty sidekick, can you check that no one else said 5 volley tips? Doesn't matter what order the word was in before Jay Paterno. Otherwise, Jay, it looks like you might be the winner. Sidekick Simone will confirm. And I'm going to go back.
Tips volley 5.
Tips.
Jay Paterno.
Tips volley 5. Yeah. Anything of those 3 words before that?
No.
All right. Jay Paterno, send me. The email's on screen here. support@primetimepickleball.freshdesk.com. Send me your choice of shirt, the color, the size, and your address to this email here. support@primetimepickleball.freshdesk.com. All right, 2 shirts It's raffled off. I'm super stoked about that because that's the minimum of what I wanted to do. Back to the questions.
Continental grip on the serve.
Thank you. Who said that? Drew. Dominion?
Dominion.
Okay, Dominion. Okay. Do you drive with a continental grip? From behind the baseline, if I'm not at the net, typically no. I'll have a slightly eastern grip on the forehand, so I'll be slightly to the right of continental, and then slightly to the left on a backhand drive. So to answer your question, you can drive out a continental. So if you're short on time, like if you're in a fast exchange at the net and you want to drive it and you don't have time, you can do it at a continental. If you're behind the baseline, you have some time, so I'd recommend getting into either an eastern backhand or an eastern forehand grip. Rose, thanks so much for the chat. Chat. Great info. Thanks, Rose. Oh, these are some answers to the questions from previously. All right. Adaptation is the secret. Yes, it is. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. I may have missed some shout outs, so thank you and Happy New Year to anyone who said that. What projects are you working on for the future? Dominating Doubles version 2, something different. That's behind the curtain right now. I have something in mind, but I'm not prepared to reveal it yet. But get on my email list at primetimepickleball.com. There's a newsletter link right on that French page somewhere, and that's where you'll be notified of that. Nothing to reveal right now. Practice to make it a habit. Yes, that's it. That's true for everything. Yeah, I've viewed that a lot of times. Okay, I'm not sure what that's referring to. Something I said earlier. Looking forward to taking your tips on the court. Awesome. The Rileys, thank you. Bernadette Soft Game. Okay, these are the answers for the other question. 5 tips, 5 key tips. Thanks all for your answers. So a lot of you are very close. Whitney, Maine, rules question. Oh man, I'm not great on rules questions, but I'll do my best. I'm more of a play question kind of person. If I'm returning a shot and hit a nice winner, but my sunglasses or hat fall into the end of easy while hitting the winner, do I lose the point? Whitney, I believe I do happen to know the answer to that. Yes, you do. I think you do lose the point if you or any part of you or any accessory on you falls into the kitchen. I believe that would result in a loss point for you. 97% sure on that one. What is wrong way, Wanda? That's I'm gonna have to let Hella Spar answer that. That's her term. I believe it has something to do with the cross-court player. God, I've worked with Hella, but not for so long. I do know what wrong way Wanda is, but I'm not recalling it right now because it's specific to her. She's a great coach, by the way. I do support what she's got to say. I think it's if you leave a gap. Yeah, if you leave the gap in the middle. So if you're the back player and your partner's in front of you, like they're in the net and you're kind of back in the court, mid-court, further back, and you drive it up down the line to the person in front of you, that person has a big gap to hit it through. And I think that's what she refers to as wrong way, Wanda. You hit it the wrong way. You should have gone cross court to keep the gap closed between you and your partner. If memory serves. In any case, that's a good tip, and I think that's related to that. Do you recommend becoming proficient with both your right and left hands, or just one of them? Just one. It's really gonna be tough to get really good on both sides. You just get your backhand really good. Should you try to put spin on every return shot? No, not necessarily. Sometimes you might want to just hit a kind of a lofty no spin return that will give you lots of time to get to the net as long as you get it deep. The key is deep. You want to put 99% of your serves deep. It's not super important what spin is on them. A lot of pros tend to go with the slice because that gives them a little bit more time. It just tends to get through the air a bit slower and gives you more time to get further up to the net. If you're ripping it with a flat or a heavy the top spin, you are going to have a hard time getting all the way up to the net because you can't travel faster than the ball. You have to come in behind it. It's going to be hard to cover all that distance. So, but the answer is no. The answer is depth. Get them deep. Yes, she loses Lawrence. Yes, she loses the point. I'm not sure what that refers to. Whitney, thank you. Happy New Year. Okay, I think we're at the end of the questions. Let me see. Okay, we did all of that. I gave away some shirts.
One more question.
One more question from Lindsay. Should your doubles partner have similar or contrasting style of play for tournaments? That's an interesting question. Uh, that answer can go a few different ways. Like if you both need to be solid. Like and very few weaknesses and being consistent and can make most of your shots. Good offense, all around good defense, and just solid players. That's number one. That's the contrast versus similarities are less important. That only kind of comes into play when you have what I just mentioned locked in. And then at that point, um, you want to maybe a little bit of contrast, like someone who's more aggressive and someone who is maybe a little bit better on defense, but like kind of marginally, like just someone who's like your job is to kind of take charge of the point and win and be more like you can go for a little more risks and you're going to be the point winner and I'm going to be the other player is going to be the one that like doesn't let anything get by them. But both have to have good defense. Both have to be able to close the point as well. But just one's better at a little bit better offense and take charge of the point. The other one's going to be more of the like defensive force. Like look at like Ben Johns and Collins Johns. Like that's kind of a perfect example. They're both super good at everything, but Ben's clearly offensive player. Kyle's more like the defensive player on that team. And that's when you look at most partnerships, there's always a little bit of that going on. And the best teams typically, there's something like that. But the key is like solid on all fronts. If you're both very good at everything, that's number one. It was sunglasses in the non-volley zone, Lawrence. Yeah, I think that still applies. I think if your sunglasses fall in the non-volley zone, that you lose the point. Thanks, Coach Nicole. You're super welcome. Let's see. Let me just check my trusty list here. I basically, I think, did everything that I set out to do. I did want to, it's New Year, so I wanted to let you know my intentions, not so much my resolutions. I'm not a huge believer in that because I kind of do like 5-year plan thing. And I just typically build from year to year. So my intentions going into this year are to continue to improve my health so that I can get back on the court in a competitive fashion. What else? I wrote them down and I can't recall them in the heat of the moment. I know I want to continue to display more gratitude on all things. I am typically a grateful person, but just be more mindful of it and spend a little bit more time with grateful thoughts. If you have any intentions you want to drop in the chat, feel free to do so. Oh, the other one is I want to continue to produce the best possible quality content I can for all of you on YouTube, and I'm also going to spend more time on building out the primetimepickleball.com website. So look out for more on that. I do have at least one more course in mind for this year and more as time goes on. But yeah, I'm just kind of like have a really good base, I feel like, and I'm just going to keep building on that. And my intention is I want to keep helping you get better. And I think what I said in a recent email, like it's not just about pickleball and getting better on the court. Like when you are out there and pickleball is pressing you, like it also, and to improve at anything, you have to break through barriers that you have as a person. So I kind of want to help everyone get better personally and in their lives through pickleball because I believe there is a ripple effect throughout your whole life when you improve in any one area. And the best way I can serve, I feel, the world is to continue to help people getting better on the court. And as I just said, I feel that will like bleed out, ripple out throughout throughout your lives. I hope. That's my vision anyway. Thank you for all the content you've created. Great stuff. Thanks, Steve. Lots more to come. Yeah, and I don't for the 2 people that won the apparel, please be sure to email me at the link that is still on the live stream right now. Go sign up for Drew's tournament. I hope you guys all enjoyed Drew. He's awesome, good player, good dude, just good coach, like all around good. So you'll be seeing more of him. And Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here and taking a little time out of your Sunday to spend it with me.